What is up, guys, and welcome back to another WWE Hot Takes episode. And we all know what the series is about, so without further ado, let's just get right into the first hot take, which comes from CMC 8506. And they say that SmackDown hasn't been very good lately. As much as I love the show, I just can't get invested into it. And I have to agree with CMC because honestly, ever since the WWE draft, I think Raw took all the big star power. They took a lot of the big stars and they gave SmackDown pretty much nothing, honestly. It's kind of sad because if you look at the SmackDown roster, there just isn't too much there for people to really want to watch it. And it sucks because before SmackDown was the A show, you had Edge, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks. You had all these big names and they all kind of left. So yeah, SmackDown is not that great right now, unfortunately. The next hot take comes from Mace 8705, and they say that 26-second squash really killed Bianca Belair's momentum, and I have to kind of agree with this. It did derail a lot of her momentum, but that kind of was done because they wanted to push Becky Lynch and put her in that position of being the top star. So I get why they did it, but I really think it sucks that it had to happen to Bianca Belair. I think Becky Lynch should have beaten Charlotte Flair that weekend, honestly. That would have made a lot of people happy. M. McDennis 1903 says that the IC title has hit rock bottom. I don't think it's ever been misused this much. They should bring back the classic belt and put some damn respect on it. All right, that is one of the funniest hot takes I've gotten, but he is completely right. I have to agree with him. I don't even know who the champion is. I think it's Shinsuke Nakamura. I could be wrong, but that just says it all. The fact that I don't even know who it is a bad sign. I think somebody else should win it. If anything, someone like Sami Zayn could do wonders with that title, so why don't they give it to him? I don't understand. I think Sami Zayn versus Cesaro needs it right now. Speaking of, Cameron says that Sami Zayn would have made the IC championship prestigious again with a much longer reign. And yes, I agree. Give him another championship reign. He did a great job, and I know they wanted to push Big E, but give the title back to him. I think he could do great. Chase Prey says that the WWE is treating its women's division nearly as bad as the Diva era. And sorry, Chase, I just can't agree with you. That is so wrong and off. It's just not right. I think the fact that the WWE has women in the main events all the time shows that it is not being treated nearly as bad as the Divas era. At that point, those women barely main evented. I think there was only one main event, and that was Trish and Lita on Raw. D. Spencer says, despite what people say, I can still see Keith Bearcat Lee being very successful if the WWE books him correctly. And yeah, obviously, if the WWE books anyone correctly, anyone can do well. I just don't think the WWE cares enough to do that. I could be wrong. We will have to wait and see. But I do think Keith Lee is going to have to wait another year before getting a significant push. That's what I'm feeling. Jordan says that Seth Rollins and Edge's rivalry is definitely the feud of the year in my opinion. And yes, Jordan, I'm gonna have to agree with you. That feud was absolutely fire. It was definitely the best, and I can't really think of anything else that could top that feud. Barnaby Capena says that Triple H's only mistake with NXT was that he was building a roster that he could have utilized well on the main roster if he were in charge, but not ones that Vince McMahon would be willing to push. And no, I don't agree. Well, I mean, that kind of makes sense, yes, but I think Triple H built a lot of stars that wouldn't resonate with the casual audience, and that is what the WWE fan base is. It's a bunch of families that just come to see wrestling, and you have the NXT crowd who are hardcore fans that loved WWE and loved independent wrestling and all that kind of stuff. So I just think Triple H was building stars for a different audience that did not work well with Raw or SmackDown. I don't even know this name. I'm not even gonna try. But they say that SmackDown is solely dependent upon Roman for its views. It's like no Roman, no views. I think the WWE should make new superstars, promote them so they can gather views without Roman and not solely depend on him. And yes, I think that's exactly what they are actually doing with like Drew McIntyre. You have Matt Riddle, Damien Priest, and I know they're on Raw, but still, you get my point. Drew McIntyre has been built as a big superstar for the last year, and I think they just keep trying to do that, but with pretty much everyone they can. Chris Legend says that Johnny Gargano could be a top star on the main roster, and I laughed, and I feel bad for laughing, but that is just never going to happen. Johnny Gargano will never be a WWE or Universal Champion ever. He just won't be a top star on the main roster. His style does not mesh well, like I said, with the casual audience of the WWE. The Tribal Chief Roman Reigns says that Jeff Hardy should be Edge's last opponent since Christian is in AEW, And yes, I will agree with that as well. If Edge really is retiring sometime soon and Christian is still in AEW, then Jeff Hardy would probably be the best last opponent that I can think of that is not Christian. I would be down for that. Safdar Hussain says that since it's pretty obvious now that Kevin Owens is leaving soon, the WWE should not treat him the way they treated Dean Ambrose. And I don't know if he's leaving yet. I don't think that that's official. Like, I can't see Kevin Owens leaving the WWE. If I had to guess, I believe that he is going to be staying with the company, especially since they are pushing him right now, and they might even give him a world championship reign in 2022. I could very well see it just to keep him on the WWE side of this unofficial war. CJ Mania says that Rey Mysterio should win the WWE world title and have one last memorable run because he deserves much better than what he got in 2011. And yeah, I would not be opposed to that at all. I would love to see another Rey Mysterio world title reign, especially since the guy still got it in the ring. Like, the fact that he's this good makes absolutely no sense, but I don't think it's going to happen. And since it won't probably happen, I also am not going to be too upset about that. Jordan Anderson says that Seth Rollins' storytelling is smooth and underrated. He is already making Raw easier to watch. And I will say, we already know Seth Rollins has always been smooth and his storytelling has always been fire. He's not underrated. He's one of the best to do it in the business. Is he making Raw easier to watch? I don't know about that. Like, he definitely is making it more entertaining, but I think that Raw is actually trying for the first time. The last 2 weeks have been pretty good. So I think the fact that they're trying is making a big difference. AJ says that Damien Priest has what it takes to be world champion material, and I finally have to agree with this. At first, I was like, I don't know about Damien Priest. I'm not sure what his character is, but whatever this darker character he has now, it's working for him, and I think eventually he will become WWE champion in maybe 2 or 3 years, and that is going to be a big accomplishment for him. Sonny says that Riddle will surely be a future star. I see all the qualities in him if he reduces his controversial comments though. And I don't want him to reduce those controversial comments because honestly, that is what makes Riddle, and I love every second of it. It's hilarious. Matt Riddle is a goofball. He says a lot of crazy things, and that's what I love about him. I think that maybe the backstage locker room should just not take his words too seriously and let the man just show off his confidence, because at the end of the day, that is what it is. He's just a confident man. And I know Randy Orton was probably like, chill out, dude, but that is what I like about Riddle. He's just so goofy and crazy that he does stupid stuff like that. So I don't want to see that, but I do think he's a future star. I think he's already a star. This whole storyline with Randy Orton has really been working well. Jalen says that Keithley will turn heel and join the Hurt Business, once again making the unit strong, and I think that should totally happen, and I agree, it would totally change everything for the Hurt Business. Right now, I don't even know what they're doing. I think Keithley needs to join right now if they want to revive that group. And the Notorious Neo says that Damien Priest is the most well-managed NXT call-up in recent memory, and that's just wrong. Come on, like, obviously we all like Damien Priest, but he's not the most well-managed one. We have Matt Riddle, and I think they did a really great job with Bianca Belair as well, but I would say Damien Priest, Bianca Belair, and Matt Riddle are definitely 3 of the best stars to come out of NXT recently. Anyways, that is it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. On the screen right now are some other videos that you should totally check out if you have some free time, so go ahead and click one of them. I will see you all in the next video.